Stories are obviously one of the most powerful forms of communication there is. And we are inundated with studies telling us how important stories are. Every day, a new article, new research. We have to use stories. It's the most powerful way to reach people. And what I find frustrating is very rarely do any of these studies or articles explain to you exactly what a story is, let alone how to find and craft and tell a good story. And so that's what we're going to do today. First of all, the case for stories. Obviously, we're raised on stories. Bedtime stories, fairy tales, movies, TV, video games. It gets embedded in our brains so that we naturally respond to the patterns and rhythms of stories, and they're very effective. But it actually goes much deeper than that, all the way to the brain. Supposedly our brains are hardwired for stories. It's 100,000 years of human evolution that have required us to communicate ideas and beliefs. And in fact, one study I read said that when a person hears a story, it stimulates the exact same areas of the brain that are stimulated when a person experiences an event. So if you think about that, as far as the brain's concerned, there's no difference between hearing about an event and actually experiencing it. And we all know experience is one of the best ways to learn. So here's a story. It's essentially a character in pursuit of a goal in the face of some challenge or obstacle. And how that person resolves that obstacle in order to achieve that goal, that provides the dramatic tension and what keeps us interested. And there are other components to stories, and they're a lot more complex than this. There's a dramatic twist, there's moral lesson, there's a bunch of other things, but these are the building blocks. If you don't have these three things, then you don't have a story. And I think the best way to begin telling good stories is to be able to sort of recognize them in the wild. So we're going to take a look at a couple of examples from pop culture, and we'll do this exercise together. The first one is Romeo and Juliet, a great movie. It was also a play at one time. Now, who were our main characters in Romeo and Juliet? Not a trick question. Romeo and Juliet kind of gives it away in the title. You'll find a lot of clues in your entertainment. Romeo and Juliet, what is their goal? To be together. And what's the obstacle? Families hate each other. The Montagues and the Capulets can't stand each other. And whether they resolve that particular challenge is up to you and your own belief system. They do end up together in death or perhaps in the afterlife, if you believe in happy endings. Here's another classic of Western literature. I Love Lucy. And I know some of you may not have seen I Love Lucy, some very young people, but you can probably guess who our main character is, even if you haven't seen it. It is who? Lucy. Lucy's the zany redhead, living in New York with her Cuban bandleader husband. Now, the show spanned many episodes over many seasons, but there was one overriding goal that Lucy pursued, which was what? Show business. To get into show business. And what were the obstacles? Her husband. No wife of mine is going to be in show business. Yes. 1950s. What else?
No talent.
No talent, yes. Lucille Ball was extremely talented, so an actor playing untalented, believe me, is very difficult. And the other thing, she also alienated people who were trying to help her. So all kinds of wacky hijinks ensue, as they say. So when you're telling a story, you can put these elements together, and you can do it, obviously, in a number of ways. If you're pitching business, what are the client's goals and challenges? And who are the characters within your organization that have helped to overcome those challenges? And how can you shape a story around that? Or if you're selling yourself in a networking event or a job interview, obviously you want to be the main character. You should be the hero of your own story. Talk about some challenges that you've overcome that achieve some of the goals of the company that's interviewing you for a job.